yourself.
Welcome back to the Bible Explained. He's the Mad Titan of Marvel Comics, known as Thanos, who is soon to be the big bad supervillain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the upcoming Avengers Infinity War.
That you take this matter seriously.
The only matter I do not take seriously, boy, is you. Your politics bore me. Your demeanor is that of a pouty child. And apparently, you alienated my favorite daughter, Gamora. I shall honor our agreement, Kree, if you bring me the order. But return to me again empty-handed, and I will bathe the Starways in your blood.
Of course, Thanos is a really cool character created by Jim Starlin, who is most famous for his space opera writings, such as The Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Thanos vs. Hulk, Thanos the Infinity Finale, and so much more. Jim Starlin also had his hand in establishing a few DC characters that are similar to Thanos in stature, such as Mongul, one of Superman's space villains. What's interesting about Thanos is that the comic book character is derived from an entity commonly spoken of in the Bible, and that entity is Death, one of the fallen angels operating within the kingdom of darkness with our adversary. In the Old Testament, the Hebrew writers referred to the entity in a twofold manner, known as Maut, as in death personified, or someone who is dying, or the word Mut, as in to kill or be executed. When jumping into the New Testament written in the Greek, we find that the word death is used to describe what Greek mythology recognizes the entity as the god of death, Thanatos. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 26, the Apostle Paul writes, "The last enemy that will be destroyed is death," which is why in verse 55 of the same chapter, Paul writes, "O death, where is your sting? O Hades, where is your victory?" Meaning, because of what Christ has done on the cross for all of humanity, man now has the opportunity for everlasting life through him and him alone. Now the Greeks have come to know Thanatos as the god of death as part of a necessary balance in the world, which is by way of the many deceptive tactics our adversary uses against us, such as lies, according to John chapter 8, verse 44, being the father of lies, and according to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14, that Satan himself can transform, even his ministers can transform, whose end will be according to their works. Thanatos was regarded as merciless and indiscriminate, hated by mortals and gods alike. In some myths, Thanatos could occasionally be outwitted. Unlike his brother Eros, the Greek god of love and existential drive to live, was a young male who represents sexual power. In Marvel Comics, Thanos is from the eternal race known as the Deviants. He inherited the deviant gene at birth, and as a result he became of a mutant on his home, one of Saturn's moons named Titan. When he developed purple highlight skin along with strength and other physical abilities, far surpassing that of any other Titan, Thanos was feared and shunned by his fellow peers as a result of his unique qualities. His brother Eros, aka Star Fox, who eventually became of aid to the Avengers, was bred from childhood to take over the role of their father as leader of Titan. Just like his Greek mythology counterpart, the god of love, Eros in the comics was a womanizer. Feeling ostracized, Thanos pursued other endeavors, coming across the entity Mistress Death in a subterranean temple, becoming obsessed with the idea of death, and falling madly in love with Mistress Death. She taught him that knowledge was power and power is everything, along with the dark mystic arts, which was forbidden on Titan. Thanos' father exiled him, setting Thanos on the path to proving his devotion to Mistress Death and showing his truest form of love by the annihilation of everything. In order for Thanos to carry out this task, he sought after the Infinity Gems, which are also called the Soul Gems, that are housed in the Infinity Gauntlet. Whoever holds all 6 Infinity Gems gains omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, and godly power over all realities. Thanos discovered and revealed the true history of the 6 gems, which are space, mind, soul, reality, time, and power, which are the remains of the once omnipotent being named Nemesis, whose domain was any and all realities. Nemesis committed suicide out of loneliness, and its power survived, with Thanos' brother, Eros, being derived from Eros, the Greek god of love, setting Thanos, who is derived from Thanatos, the Greek god of death, on the path of pride and hate toward his own people, which eventually reaches the entire universe. Fueled by a love for Mistress Death is a complete triangle. One of Thanos' famous quotes reads, "Am I not Thanos? Did I not butcher the woman who gave birth to me, who forced me into this hell called life? Is not the wake of my passing crimson with the blood of my enemies and allies alike? Death is with me every second of the day." Majority of the New Testament is written in the Greek by the Apostle Paul for good reason. His letters were sent to many churches who were completely surrounded by other mythologies and practices, and his objective was to connect with their cultural perspective. Death, including all of the fallen angels who masqueraded themselves as gods for deception, the demonic forces, and our adversary himself, will be done away with as mentioned in Matthew chapter 25, verse 41. Then he will also say to those on the left hand, "Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels." But in Marvel Comics, Drax, the Destroyer, is the one who kills Thanos.
To challenge them is to court death.